Yeah, hello there, welcome back my fellow pixelators, what's going on? And today we're going to be continuing the Shoyo Hinata Death Stare build, and today we're going to be doing part 12, so without further ado, let's get straight into today's build. And if you enjoyed this build so far, feel free to hit that like button and subscribe as well if you haven't already, because that would be much appreciated. And for today's blocks, we're going to be using grey concrete powder, black terracotta, orange wool, orange terracotta, light grey wool, white wool, brown mushroom block, bone block, light grey concrete powder, clay, grey wool, and cyan terracotta. If any blocks get changed during the build, as say I would swap one colour for another colour, I will tell you during the build, but there probably won't be any. Or if I missed out a colour, then I would tell you what block I missed out on. So without further ado, once we have grabbed all those blocks, we're going to be flying to the very left hand side of the build. So today we're going to be doing the entire shoulder and neck. So all the clothing here on the shoulder, the neck right here, and over here as well. So without further ado, flying over to the left hand side, we're going to start off with our black terracotta and our grey concrete powder. So once you've flown over to this left hand side here, we want to be flying all the way over this line going up right here, and we're going to be filling in this sector right here, and we want to fly to this 5 underneath these 3s. So as you can see, these three upright diagonals here, and we want to be flying underneath them to this 5 right here. And once you've flown to this 5 right here, we want to fly to the middle, so this middle one right here, as you can see, and we want to place one black terracotta going to the left from the middle of this 5. So I'll zoom out so you can see where we've gone off. We've gone off that area right there. So fly back into there and place your one black terracotta going to the left from the middle of this 5. And once you have done this, we're going to do 2 bottom left diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. From the second bottom left diagonal, place one underneath just like so. And then do another bottom left diagonal from here. From this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place one underneath as well, just like so. And then we're going to do 3 bottom left diagonals from here. So 1, 2, and 3. And as you can see, we've got 3 right there. And once you've done 3 of those, we're going to place one underneath the third one, just like so. And then we're going to do 14 bottom left diagonals from here. So 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. There we go. Once you've done 14 bottom left diagonals from here, we're going to place 4 going to the left from the 14th one. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to do 2 up left diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. And from the second up left diagonal, place 3 to the left. So 1, 2, and 3. And then do a bottom left diagonal from here. From this bottom left diagonal, place 1 to the left. And then do another bottom left diagonal. And place another one to the left, just like so. And then do 4 bottom left diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And from this 4th bottom left diagonal, place 1 to the left. And then do another bottom left diagonal from here. And then there we go. As you can see, that bottom left diagonal we just did right there, connect to the ground, just like so. And then we are done with this area, so we can zoom out. So as you can see, black terracotta is going to go all inside here, and grey concrete powder is going to go all up on the upper hand side. So up above right here and to the left right here is going to be all grey concrete powder. So we can outline this with grey concrete powder on top. Which we don't usually get to outline this, because usually it's always underneath, but this time it's on top, so it's a lot easier to outline or mark out this time than some other builds, that is. Right, and there we go. So as you can see, black terracotta in the inside right here and grey concrete powder in the inside of there. So moving on to the next sector, which is this area right here. And for this sector right here, we're going to need 4 blocks. So we're going to need our orange wool, our orange terracotta, our light grey wool and our white wool. So without further ado, for the area we're going to be flying off, we're going to be taking out our orange terracotta, and we want to be flying over to that 5 again where we went with the black terracotta. So fly over to here again, and this time we're not going to go off the middle one, we're going to go one above the middle one. So this one right here, so the second one from the top, and we're going to place one orange terracotta going to the right from here, just like so. Once you've done that one to the right, do an upright diagonal from here. From this upright diagonal, place one on top, just like so. And then we're going to do 4 upright diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And once you've done these 4 upright diagonals, take out your light grey wool, and we're going to place one to the right of the orange terracotta, just like so. And then we're going to place one underneath, and then place one to the left. And then from this one that we just placed to the left, we're going to place 3 underneath, so 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to do a bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 3 underneath, so 1, 2, and 3. And then do another bottom left diagonal. And this time place 7 underneath, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then do another bottom left diagonal. And place another 7 going underneath here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, place 4 going underneath, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, place 2 underneath, so 1 and 2. And then do another bottom left diagonal from here. And from this bottom left diagonal, place another 2 underneath, so 1 and 2. And then if you place 2 to the right, just like so, it connects to the black concrete. And all of the inside right here on the right hand side, going up to the top right there, is going to be all filled in with light grey wool. And if we take out the orange terracotta, and on the left hand side, we just outline the light grey wool. Just like so. There we go. As you can see, those areas should be looking like that. But there's still 2 more areas we got to do, and we got to do the shading above. So I'm going to take out our orange wool first. And with our orange wool, fly all the way to that 5 again, and we're going to fill that one little tiny gap there with our orange wool. And then we're going to fly to the top of this 2 orange terracotta going up right here. Place 1 orange wool on top, and then an upright diagonal. And then we're going to do another upright diagonal, and then do another upright diagonal, and then do another upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 2 on top, so 1 and 2. We're then going to do another upright diagonal from here. And from this upright diagonal, we're going to place 3 on top, so 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to do another upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, place 2 on top, so 1 and 2. And then do another upright diagonal, place 1 on top. And then finally but not least, do 1 more upright diagonal, just like so. Now once you've done this, take out your white wool. And on the right hand side is going to be filled in with white wool. And on the left hand side is going to be filled in with our orange wool. This one little gap here, as you can see right here as well, this is part of the shoulder, so you can fill that in with grey concrete powder, just so you can see. And flying back over to the white wool that we're just going to outline. And those 2 gaps going up there as well, 2 kind of upright diagonal gaps, that's filled in with white wool. So we just fill this in. And then on the right hand side, you just fill in white wool of the orange wool, just like so. So we don't have to fill it all in, but it's kind of a short area, so I've already kind of filled it in. And there you go, as you can see. So we should be looking like that. So again, light grey wool is going to be in there, and orange terracotta in there, and orange wool in there, and white wool in there, as you see that we've already done. So then moving on to the next sector, this sector right here. And this sector right here is going to be shaded in with our black terracotta and our grey concrete powder. So for the area we're going to be going off, as you can see, this very bottom white wool that is on top of the light grey wool, we want to fly it all the way to there, but we want to fly to the right of it to this black concrete right here. And once you fly into this black concrete right here, take out your black terracotta and place 3 going to the right from here, so 1, 2, and 3, and then place 1 on top, just like so, or the very 3rd one going to the right. And then once you've done this, take out your grey concrete powder, and then just place a couple of grey concrete powder on top. And there you go, we're done with that area. So as you can see, black terracotta is going to go all underneath, down here to the bottom. And grey concrete powder is going all the way up to the top, up to there, as you can see. So, moving on to the next area, where we're going to be once again taking out our orange wool, our orange terracotta, our light grey wool, and our white wool. So this time, we're going to take out the light grey wool first, and to that one black terracotta that's sticking up right there, we want to fly to there again, and we want to fly to the right by one to this black concrete right here, and we want to place one light grey wool going to the right from here, just like so. And then we're going to place one on top, and then we're going to do an upright diagonal. From this upright diagonal, place one to the right, and then do another upright diagonal from here. And from this upright diagonal, place two underneath, so 1 and 2. And then we're going to do a bottom left diagonal. From this bottom left diagonal, place 3 underneath, so 1, 2, and 3. And then do another bottom left diagonal from here. From this bottom left diagonal, place 3 underneath, so 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, place 4 underneath, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then do another bottom left diagonal. And place 13 underneath from here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. And then do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, place 10 underneath. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And as you can see, this 10th one that we just placed underneath connects to the ground just like so. And what does that mean? That means we have done everything correctly, going down here just like so. And light grey wool is going to be going in the left hand side right here. Once we have done this, we're going to fly back up to the top. And we want to fly to that one light grey wool that's sticking up right there. So fly over to there. Once you've flown over to here, take out your orange terracotta. And with our orange terracotta, we're going to place one to the right of the light grey wool that's sticking up, just like so. And then place 2 orange terracotta going up from here, so 1 and 2. And then do 16 upright diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. From the 16th one, place 3 to the right, so 1, 2, and 3. And as you can see, this 3 that we just placed to the right connects to the black concrete just like so, and to the second top of this 4 right here. And what does that mean? That means we've done everything correctly right here. And then, once we've done this, we're going to take our orange wool, and we want to fly all the way back down to the orange terracotta. And we want to fly to the top of that 2 that we placed going up from that 1 that we placed to the right of the light grey wool. So it looks like 3 in total. And we want to fly to the top of it. And once we've flown to the top of it, place 2 orange wool on top of it, just like so. So 1 and 2, and there we go. Once we've done this, do an upright diagonal. From this upright diagonal, place 1 on top, and then do another upright diagonal. And from this upright diagonal, place 2 on top, so 1 and 2, and then do another upright diagonal from here. From this upright diagonal, we're going to place 2 on top as well, so 1 and 2, and then we're going to do another upright diagonal from here. And from this upright diagonal, place 1 on top. And then we're going to do 2 upright diagonals. So 1 and 2. And from the second upright diagonal, just place 1 on top, just like so. And there we go. Once you've done that, we're going to zoom out. So, what we're going to do is, with our orange wool, we're going to cap off on top of the orange terracotta. So we go on top again, just like so. We're just going to cap it off. And make sure that we have marked out every line correctly. And there we go. So as you can see, orange terracotta is going to go inside this small gap here, and all the way down here. And if we take out our white wool, so this left hand side right here, as you can see on top of the light grey wool, it's going to be all white wool. To the right of the orange wool as well, and the orange terracotta. So we take out the white wool just on the top, place a couple on top, and then go all the way up the right as well. Just like so. And then there we go. And then again, if we take out the orange terracotta as well, and to the left of the light grey wool, we cap off this area as well. So we want to make sure we cap off every area, so we don't overspill when filling in the blocks, and go over the areas that we marked out. And there we go. So there you go, as you can see, light grey wool on the left hand side. orange terracotta on the right bottom hand side, right there, and inside that gap there, orange wall up there, and the left wall up there on the left hand side. So again, once we have done that, we're going to move on to the next area, which is this little tiny area underneath right here. So in this small two sectors here, the smaller little sector to the left right here is going to be filled in all with our black terracotta. So we fill in a bit with our black terracotta. All the bit we fill it all in because it's very small. And then the sector to the right here is going to be filled in with our orange terracotta. So we just fill this in with orange terracotta. Just like so. And there we go. So going down terracotta is going all down here and inside that gap there as well. So then moving on to the next sector, which is the shading of the neck. So I'm sure some of you might be actually surprised to what colour we're going to be shading the neck in with. And that colour is going to be our brown mushroom block. Yes, this is actually the block that is used to shade Shoyo Hinata Death Stare Darkness effect. And it looks very, very epic with this block, which is quite surprisingly to use this block, but it works very well. But once you have taken out your brown mushroom block, we want to fly over to the neck, and we want to fly to the inside part, that kind of like the neck right here, so more kind of on the like collarbone side, it is more here, and we want to fly to the road left of here. So where we shaded this area, we want to fly to the road left of this big line right here, which I believe is 6 right here. Yep, it's 6. So this 6 going up here, that is going in a bottom right diagonal direction to the ground. We want to be flying over to here, and we want to fly to all these upright diagonals right here where we shaded this area. And if we fly to the very bottom one right here, and if we fly up by 1, so to this second one that's going up to the top right here, or you could say the second end bottom left diagonal from here, and if we just place 2 brown mushrooms going underneath from here, so 1 and 2, and then there we go. As you can see, we should be looking like that right there. So once you have placed your 2 brown mushrooms going down from that area right there, fly into there, and once you've flown towards here, do a bottom right diagonal from here, just like so. Then once you've done this bottom right diagonal, place 6 underneath, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. There we go, should be looking like that right there. Once you've done that, do another bottom right diagonal from here. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 3 underneath, so 1, 2 and 3. And then do another bottom right diagonal from here. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 2 underneath, so 1 and 2. And then do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, place another 2 underneath, so 1 and 2. And then do another bottom right diagonal. From this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 1 underneath this time, just like so. And then do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 2 underneath, so 1 and 2. And then do another bottom right diagonal. From this bottom right diagonal, place 1 underneath. And then we're going to do 2 bottom right diagonals from here, so 1 and 2. From this second bottom right diagonal, place 1 underneath, just like so. And then do another bottom right diagonal from here. From this bottom right diagonal, place 1 underneath. And then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal from here. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 1 underneath as well, just like so. Once you've done this, do 2 bottom right diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. From this second bottom right diagonal, place 1 underneath, just like so. We're then going to do another bottom right diagonal from here. From this bottom right diagonal, place 1 underneath, just like so. And then do 2 bottom right diagonals, so 1 and 2. From this second bottom right diagonal, place 1 underneath, and then do another bottom right diagonal. And then from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to do an up right diagonal, just like so. From this up right diagonal, we're going to place 10 on top, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And then do an up left diagonal from here. And from this up left diagonal, place 10 on top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And as you can see, there's 10 that we've placed on top. To the row left of it, it connects to the black concrete, just in line, just like so. Once you have done this, we are going to do an up left diagonal from here. So place 1 on top of the 3 black concrete, just like so. And once we've done this, we're going to place 6 on top from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Once again, you can see it's in line with the 3, but just a 3 gap between it. Once you have done the 6 on top, we're going to fly down by 1 from the top right here. So fly down to the second one. Let's get away from the top, just like so. and we're going to place one to the right from here, just like so. Then once we've done this, we're going to do two bottom right diagonals from here. So 1 and 2, and from this second bottom right diagonal, we're going to place one underneath, just like so. And then we're going to do another two bottom right diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. From the second bottom right diagonal, we'll place another one underneath, just like so. And then we're going to do another two bottom right diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. From the second one, we're going to place one underneath as well, just like so. And then do another bottom right diagonal. From this bottom right diagonal, place one underneath, and then do another bottom right diagonal, and place another one underneath. And once we've done this, we're going to do two bottom right diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. And from the second bottom right diagonal, we're going to do an upright diagonal, just like so. From this upright diagonal, place one on top. We're then going to do an up left diagonal. And from this up left diagonal, place two on top. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to do another up left diagonal. For this up left diagonal, place one on top, just like so. And once you've done this, do another up left diagonal from here. And from this up left diagonal, place two on top, so 1 and 2. We're then going to do another up left diagonal, and place another two on top, so 1 and 2. And then we're going to do another up left diagonal. From this up left diagonal, place one on top, just like so. And then we're going to do another up left diagonal from here. And from this up left diagonal, place two on top, so 1 and 2. And then do another up left diagonal. From this up left diagonal, place one on top, just like so. Then we're going to do another up left diagonal. And from this up left diagonal, place two on top, so 1 and 2. We're then going to do another up left diagonal from here, and place another two on top, so 1 and 2. And then do another up left diagonal. And from this up left diagonal this time, we're going to place 3 on top, so 1, 2, and 3. And then do another up left diagonal from here, and from this up left diagonal, place 2 on top, so 1 and 2. And then do another up left diagonal. And from this up left diagonal, place 3 on top, so 1, 2, and 3. And then do another up left diagonal from here. And from this up left diagonal, place 3 on top, so 1, 2, 3. And then do another up left diagonal. From this up left diagonal, place 2 on top, so 1 and 2. And then do another up left diagonal from here. And from this up left diagonal, place 2 on top, 1 and 2. And then once we've done this, we're going to do two up left diagonals from here, so 1 and 2. And then there we go. We are done right there. So as you can see, that second up left diagonal is underneath the second up left diagonal of the black concrete, just like so as well. But we're not actually fully done yet, because there is one more area that we still got to shade, which we've got to cap off this top part right here. So as you can see, these up left diagonals of the black concrete, we want to fly all the way to the top one right here. Once we've flown to this top one right here, we want to do another up left diagonal from here, but with our brown mushroom block, just like so. Once we've done this up left diagonal, place one on top, and then we're going to do 3 up left diagonals from here. So 1, 2, and 3. And from this third one, place one on top, just like so. And then there we go. So in the right hand side, all in here, we're going all the way along here, is brown mushroom. On the right hand side, it is all brown mushroom. And underneath is all brown mushroom. And on this little section here, as you can see to the left, is all brown mushroom block. Inside here is going to be all bone block going inside here. So again, we're going to cap it off with our bone block again and again. So let's take out our bone block. And also with the bone block, there is another area that we do have to do in the neck that we're not quite done yet, which we have to do his sweat. Now this is actually optional. If you don't want to do this, you don't have to do this. This all depends on what you really want. If you prefer it and you think it looks cleaner without the sweat, then you can not do the sweat. If you think it looks nicer with the sweat, if it looks more like Shoyo Hinata's death stare, or you think it has a nice feel to it, then you can keep it. If you don't want to keep it, then you don't have to keep it. And another annoying angle, I'm just going to fly to the top, make it easier for me. There you go. Again, also, for those that don't know already, a bone block has to be placed a specific way. You do not want to place your bone block sideways because it will look weird. For example, if I place one sideways here, and then just place maybe a couple on top, let's say. And there we go, and you have a look and you zoom out, you can notice that that one texture looks really weird, and that's because with bone block, it has those textures going down the right and left hand side of it. So it's always looking like a funny angle when you place it. And that's why you don't want to place it sideways, because as you can see, it just looks really bad, and it doesn't look good, and it makes the build just look absolutely terrible. So make sure you're always placing your bone block up and down, which we've done this for many builds, so I'm sure a lot of you are used to this, but for those that aren't used to this, bone block cannot be placed sideways, it has to be placed going up and down. So again, make sure it's going up and not sideways. And for angles like this, you can either place a placement block and then get your bone block out and go all the way up and then destroy that placement block. Or if it's like underneath, you can get it underneath. Not all the time though, you can get underneath, so sometimes you have to get a placement block out. And we don't really need to outline this side, we need to go on this side here actually. Again, we're just marking this out to make sure we don't spill over as well. It is a tricky bone block, and it does take a long time to fill in, but luckily this build isn't that long. But long builds with this block really do take a long time, because you have to place it just such a specific way that if you place it too fast going to the right or left, it will just go wrong. Which we just don't want happening. Just still got a couple. I do like the sound though of bone block placing. I don't know if that's just me or anyone else likes the sound of it, but I think it's quite a nice sound. But anyway, we're almost at the top, just a bit more to go. We want to make sure we get all the sides so you can't even see the brown mushroom, to make sure you definitely won't spill over by any chances or means or necessary. And there we go, as you can see, there it is. So we've got a couple areas to shade with the light grey concrete powder, and we're going to need to take out our clay block as well. So without further ado, with our clay block, what we're going to do first is we're going to fly to this top part. So as you can see, this section all going like down here up to the top left hand side right here, and with this shaded black concrete area is, we want to fly all the way to the top of there. And once we've flown to the very top, so we want to fly to the very top line. So this line really sticking out to the left right here, we want to fly to the very top on top of this block right here. And once we're on top of this block right here with our clay block, we want to do a right diagonal. From this upright diagonal, we want to place one on top, and then what we want to do is take out a placement block and place one to the left, and then take out your clay block again and place one to the left of the placement block, and place one on top, and then destroy your placement block. And from that one that we place on top, fall underneath by one, zip back to here, do a bottom left diagonal from here, and from this bottom left diagonal, place one underneath, and then do a bottom right diagonal, just like so, and there we go. So this one little gap outside the black concrete line is done with absolutely nothing, and it should be just left empty, just like so. And once we have done this, we're going to zoom out. So again, if you want to keep this, you can keep this, or you can do it all the way to the end. And so then if you don't think you need it, then you can get rid of it. It's optional, that kind of part, so it's not one you have to do. For everything else though, you do want to do, because well, you just don't want to miss out any of the textures for the skin tone or colours for the build, for the hair and everything. So yeah, but for the sweat, that is optional, so you don't have to do that. And moving on to the next area where we got shade with these blocks. So we're going to be shading with our light grey concrete powder this time. So instead we're going to use our brown mushroom block, because as you know, light grey concrete powder is going to fall all the way to the ground. Henceforth, white clay block is used over there because it's outside the build. So for the area we're going to be going off, we want to be going off to this floaty line right here on the very right hand side, going in an upright angle direction, you could say, or a bottom left angle direction. And where we want to go onto this right hand side of this area here, so we get a bit of a better zoom in, so we're a bit closer. We want to go, say if we're going from a bottom left diagonal direction, so from the very top, we want to go to the second three. So we skip the twos, and then there's one three there, but that's the first one. We want to skip that one, there's another two, and then here's the second one. And we want to fly to that second one right there. And once we have flown into the second one right here, with our brown mushroom block, we want to place three going underneath from here. So 1, 2, and 3. We then want to place one to the left, just like so. And then we want to place 6 going underneath from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we want to place one to the right. And then we want to place one underneath. And then place 2 to the right. So 1 and 2. And then place one on top. And then place one to the right. And then place 3 on top. So 1, 2, and 3. And there we go. Once we've done this, we're going to take out our light grey concrete powder, and we're going to fly to the 3 that we just placed on top literally just now. And what we want to do is we want to place 3 going along the left right here. So 1, 2, and 3. And then from this 3 that you can see in total, we want to do a bottom left diagonal from the very bottom one here. And from this bottom left diagonal, we want to do an up left diagonal. And from this up left diagonal, we want to place 4 on top. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And once you've done this, take out your brown mushroom block. Place 1 to the right of the light grey concrete powder, just like so. And take out your light grey concrete powder again. And we're going to place 6 going up from this brown mushroom block that we just placed to the right. So place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then there we go. As you can see, we're done in that area. So that little gap there and all the rest is filled in with our brown mushroom block. So if you want to fill in this small gap inside to make it look easy for you, so you know nothing else goes there. And then there you go. As you can see, we should be looking like that right there. And then onto the next area. So we're going to zoom out. And as you can see, all these lines coming down from the chin right now on the neck, we want to be flying to the right hand side again. And we want to be flying to the one line that is not connected going down. So as you can see, this one line right here, which this is 5 in total, as you can see, it's not connected to the top. And for that reason being is because the sweat blocks it. So we want to fly it over to there. Once again, we're going to be using our light grey concrete powder and our brown mushroom block. So from the very top of this 5 right here with our light grey concrete powder, we want to place 2 going up from here. So 1 and 2. We then want to take out our brown mushroom block and place 1 to the right, just like so. And then take out our light grey concrete powder and place 1 top of the brown mushroom block. And then take out the brown mushroom block and place 1 to the right of the light grey concrete powder, just like so. So it looks like an upright diagonal with the brown mushroom blocks. And then take out our light grey concrete powder and we're going to place 2 on top from this brown mushroom block. So 1 and 2. And then once we've done this, we want to fly back to the 2 that we placed on top of the black concrete. And we want to fly to the bottom one, so this bottom one right here. And what we want to do from here is we want to fly down by 2 from here. So 1 and 2. And take out the brown mushroom block and place 1 to the left of the second of this 5 going up in total. So the 4th one going up, not the 5th one. We should be looking like that. We then want to take out our light grey concrete powder and place 1 on top of the brown mushroom block, just like so. And then take out your brown mushroom block and place 1 to the left of the light grey concrete powder. And then take out your light grey concrete powder and place 1 on top of the brown mushroom block. And there we go. We're done with the light grey concrete powder, and on the inside there is filled in with our brown mushroom block, just like so. And then again on the outside as well, we just cap off all the areas to make it look clean. And there we go. You see, we're looking like that. So once we have done that, we are going to fly to the next and final sector for today. So without further ado, let's zoom out. So we're going to be moving on to the right hand shoulder right now. So for this right hand shoulder, for the blocks we're going to be using our grey wool this time. So get rid of our grey concrete powder and take out our grey wool and take out our cyan terracotta as well. And you can replace that for your light grey wool or something. And in this area, we're going to be using our orange terracotta, our orange wool, our grey wool, our black terracotta, our light grey concrete powder, and our cyan terracotta. So without further ado, let's start off with this sector right here in the colour. So exactly the same as there. We're going to be using our orange wool, our orange terracotta, and this time we're going to be using our cyan terracotta and our light grey concrete powder instead of the white wool and the light grey wool. So starting off with our orange terracotta first, we want to fly to the very top left hand side, so where we've started to bridge off going to the right here on this top line. We want to fly to this line second to the right here. We want to fly to the very left corner. Once we've flown to the very left corner, place 1 orange terracotta in this left corner here, just like so. So we should be looking like that, as you can see. Then fly back into here. Once you've flown back into here, we're going to place 2 going to the right from here. So 1 and 2. But they're going to do 2 bottom right diagonals. So 1 and 2. From the second bottom right diagonal, place 1 underneath just like so. Then do 2 bottom right diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. From the second bottom right diagonal, place 1 to the right just like so. And from this one that we just placed to the right, we're going to do 5 bottom right diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And from this 5th bottom right diagonal, place 1 to the right, just like so. And then do another bottom right diagonal from here. From this bottom right diagonal, take out your cyan terracotta, and we're going to do 3 bottom right diagonals from here. So 1, 2, and 3. And from this third bottom right diagonal, place 1 to the right, just like so. And then once we've done this, we're going to fly back to the first bottom right diagonal that we did with the cyan terracotta. So to this one that's connecting to the orange terracotta, we want to fly to here. And so we want to place 1 cyan terracotta going underneath from here. Fly to the right by 1. And just place 4 underneath from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then they're going to do a bottom right diagonal. From this bottom right diagonal, place 3 underneath. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal from here. And this time, from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 4 going underneath. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then do another bottom right diagonal from here. And then once we've done this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place a 3 underneath. So 1, 2, and 3. And then do another bottom right diagonal from here. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 4 underneath. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're then going to do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 5 going underneath. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 3 underneath. So 1, 2, and 3. And then do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 3 underneath. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 8 underneath. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal from here. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 4 underneath. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 1 underneath, just like so. And then there we go, we're done that area. So on the right hand side is all going to be filled in with cyan terracotta inside here. And on the left hand side is going to be filled in with our orange terracotta. So again, if we fly back up to the top, or you can start from the bottom, whichever way, we just outline on the left hand side of the cyan terracotta, just like so. So we don't overspill. And so we can mark out the areas of where we're going off. And there we go. So again, with our orange wool and our light grey concrete powder, we want to fly to the top. And we're going to start with the orange wool first. And we want to fly to the 2 sticking out to the right. So from those 5 bottom right diagonals that we did, and from the 5th one that we placed 1 to the right of, we want to fly to that 2 right there. And we want to fly to the very end one right here. And once you've flown to the very end one right here, we want to place 3 orange wool going up from here. So 1, 2, and 3. And then on the right hand side to take out our light grey concrete powder. And we're just going to outline and fill this all in. So we might as well fill this all in as well. It's a nice small sector. So again, with just on top of the cyan terracotta, we filled it all in. And on the left hand side of the orange wool and orange terracotta, we filled it all in as well. And then taking out orange wool as well, in this left hand side, we're just going to outline the orange terracotta on top. Just to make sure that we don't spill over again. And then there we go. So as you see, orange wool inside there. We've already done the light grey concrete powder. Cyan terracotta all the way down there. And orange terracotta inside here. And then again, once we have done this, we're going to zoom down to the bottom. To these 2 sectors right here. And on the left sector right here, we're going to fill it in with our orange terracotta. So just inside here is orange terracotta. Just like so. I'll just fill 2 lines. Also down here, as you can see, is also orange terracotta because it's part of this sector here. And then this sector to the right here is going to be our black terracotta. So inside here, we just fill it in with black terracotta. Again, I'll do 2 lines over here as well. And there you go. And once you've done this, I'm going to zoom out. So moving on to the next area, which is this center area right here. And for this center area right here, we're going to be using our black terracotta and our grey wool. So without further ado, let's fly up to the very top. And as you can see, that cyan terracotta, that's going to the right and hitting the black concrete, just like so. We want to fly all the way over to there. Once we've flown over to here, we want to take out our grey wool. And we want to place 1 to the right, just like so from here. and then we want to place one on top and then fly down underneath by one. So back to here to the one that we placed to the right, and then place one to the right from here, and then place one underneath, and then there we go. Once we've done that, take out your black terracotta, and we're just going to, underneath these two right here, just place black terracotta going underneath to cap it off, just like so. And then there you go. As you can see, black terracotta is going to go all the way down on that gap, and with the grey one, well, already done. Not a big sector. And then once we had done this, once again, we got another sector to do right here. And this sector right here, we're going to be filling in with 3 colours this time, because the orange wool doesn't make it all the way down to here. And we're going to be using our orange terracotta, our light grey concrete powder, and our cyan terracotta. So for the area to start off right here, we're going to take out our cyan terracotta, and we want to fly to this 4 right here. So as you can see, I placed a bit of black terracotta going down here, and it's this 4 right here that we're flying to. So this up left diagonal direction, you can see the 4. We want to be flying to the second one from the top. So this third one going up from the bottom here. And with our cyan terracotta, we want to place one to the right. We don't want to take out our orange terracotta and place one to the right, and place one on top. And then we want to fly underneath by one, so back to this one right here. And then we want to place one underneath here, just like so. We don't want to do a bottom right diagonal from here. From this bottom right diagonal, place 2 underneath, so 1 and 2. And then do another bottom right diagonal. From this bottom right diagonal, place 1 underneath, just like so. And then do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 2 underneath, so 1 and 2. And then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal from here. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 2 underneath as well, so 1 and 2. And then do another bottom right diagonal from here. From this bottom right diagonal, place 2 underneath, so 1 and 2. And then do another bottom right diagonal. This time from this bottom right diagonal, place 3 underneath, so 1, 2 and 3. And then do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 2 underneath, so 1 and 2. And then we're going to repeat this 3 here 4 more times in a bottom right diagonal direction. So do a bottom right diagonal, and from this bottom right diagonal, place 2 underneath, so 1 and 2, and that's 1. Do another bottom right diagonal, place another 2 underneath, 1 and 2, that's 2. Another bottom right diagonal, another 2 underneath, that's 3. And another bottom right diagonal, and another 2 underneath, and that's 4. And that should be 5 of those 3s in total in a bottom right diagonal direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. As you can see, we've got 5 of them. So fly back down to the bottom one right here. And once we've flown back to the bottom one right here, do a bottom right diagonal from here. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 1 underneath, just like so. And then do another bottom right diagonal from here. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 1 underneath. And then do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 1 underneath, just like so. And then once you've done this, do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 2 underneath, so 1 and 2. And then do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 2 underneath, so 1 and 2. And then do 2 bottom right diagonals from here, so 1 and 2. And then finally, but not least, from the second one, just place 1 underneath, just like so. And then there we go, we're done with this area. So if you want, you can place orange terracotta going all the way to the right to hit the black concrete. And then flying back to the left. On this left hand side is going to be filled in with cyan terracotta. So again, if we outline on the left hand side of the orange terracotta, so we can mark out the area again, which is really struggling to place right now, I'm not so sure why. There we go, or not. God, I really cannot place on this side for some reason. And there we go, we're back up to the top. So as you see, once we're back up to the top, this little line going down here, so as you can see, it's like a 2 going down, a 1 to the right, and then a 1 underneath. We want to fill that in with our light grey concrete powder. So fill this in right here, and god damn it, fell down to the bottom. Alright, I'll go and get that later on. So for the next and final sector for the day, which I'm going to fill all of this in, and you will see the end result if you want to fill it all in today, or if you want to leave it to the end, you can fill it in once everything else is outlined, but depending on how you want to do it, I'm going to fill this in today so you can see what we've done today. But again, we've got to do the final sector, and for our final sector, we're going to take out our black terracotta and our grey wool. So, as you can see, this sector that we just done right here, as you can see, this line going down to the bottom here, just like the other side, we want to start on this line. And we want to start with the 3 going down, so not the 3 bottom right diagonals. We want to go to the 3 going down, just like so, from the 3 bottom right diagonals. And we want to fly to the very top one of there. And once we fly to the very top one from here, we want to place 1 black terracotta going to the right from here, just like so. From this one that we placed to the right, we want to do 3 bottom right diagonals. So 1, 2, and 3. And from this 3rd bottom right diagonal, place 1 to the right, just like so. And then we want to do 10 bottom right diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and then 10. And from this 10th one, we're going to place 1 to the right, just like so. We're then going to do another bottom right diagonal. From this bottom right diagonal, place another 1 to the right, just like so. And then we're going to do 4 bottom right diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And from this 4th one, place 1 to the right, just like so. And then do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 2 to the right, just like so. So 1 and 2. Then we're going to do 2 bottom right diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. From the 2nd bottom right diagonal, place 2 to the right. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to do 2 bottom right diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. From the 2nd bottom right diagonal, place 1 to the right, just like so. And then we're going to do another bottom right diagonal from here. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 2 to the right. So 1 and 2. We're then going to do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 2 to the right, so 1 and 2. And then do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 2 to the right, so 1 and 2. And then finally, but not least, do another bottom right diagonal from here. And place 4 to the right from here, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then from this 4 that we just placed to the right, do another bottom right diagonal. From this bottom right diagonal, place another 4 to the right, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then do another bottom right diagonal from here. From this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 1 to the right, just like so. And then going to place 1 on top. And then we're going to do 8 up left diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And from this 8th up left diagonal, place 1 on top, just like so. And then place 1 to the right. And then we're going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 2 to the right, so 1 and 2. Then do another bottom right diagonal. From this bottom right diagonal, place 2 to the right as well, so 1 and 2. Then do another bottom right diagonal. And place another 2 to the right, so 1 and 2. And then from here, do another bottom right diagonal. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 1 to the right, just like so. And then we're going to repeat this too here, 5 more times in a bottom right diagonal direction. So do a bottom right diagonal, place 1 to the right, that's 1. Another bottom right diagonal, another 1 to the right, that's 2. Another bottom right diagonal, another 1 to the right, that's 3. Another bottom right diagonal, another 1 to the right, that's 4. And finally but not least, another bottom right diagonal, another 1 to the right, and that is 5. When we zoom out, that should be 6 of those 2's in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. As you can see, we've got 6 of them. So fly back towards the end one. Once you fly back towards the end one, do 4 bottom right diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and from this 4th one, place 1 to the right, just like so. And then we're going to do 11 bottom right diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And from this 11th one, place 1 underneath, just like so. And then from this one that we just placed underneath, do 2 bottom right diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. And then from the 2nd bottom right diagonal, place 1 underneath. And then finally but not least, do another bottom right diagonal from here. And from this bottom right diagonal, place 1 underneath, just like so. And then there we go. Once we have done this, we take out our grey wool. And on the upper hand side right here, so on the right hand side and all the way on top, it's all going to be filled in with grey wool. So we place 4 grey wool going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. As you can see, we've done everything going correctly down to here. And then on top of the black terracotta, we just outline with our grey wool to to make sure that we have done everything correctly, not just that, it marks out the area so we don't spill over when filling in. And this is the final area for today, so I'm going to do a zoom out and now I'm going to fill everything in and then show you the end result. So to make sure that you don't go wrong and to make sure that yours is looking exactly the same as mine. Or unless you don't want, as I said before, unless you don't want the sweat, again you don't have to do that. Or you can fill it in and then decide for yourself whether or not you want it or not in your build. This one gap here as well, this little gap here is filled in with grey wool, just for those that are wondering as well, as you can see. Still in grey wool. I believe we're almost there, not too far. There we go, now we're on all the up left diagonals, so now we're not close. And there we go. As you can see, we are done with this area. I'm just filling all that to the top, just like so. And then there we go. So I'm going to zoom out. So, as you can see, a lot of colours in Shoyo Hinata. And already, we've only literally just done the bottom pit. But there probably is part of it that has the most colours. But I honestly, I generally kind of take that back as well. Because the face has a load of colours in the eyes and everything. But again, probably not as much as this area, but still a lot. And I'm just going to destroy that light grey concrete powder. Which I hate when that happens, when it falls to the ground, but oh well. So now we'll zoom out. So once again, as is another long video. So, as you can see, grey wool up in there, black terracotta underneath, the orange terracotta to the right there, and as you can see, the cyan terracotta to the left, underneath in that strip there is black terracotta, as you have outlined everything. Cyan terracotta also into the right there, going into that line right there. And the orange terracotta all the way to the left, the orange wool on top, the black terracotta to the right down there, the orange terracotta inside there, and going down in the small part there, as you can see it's part there. Brown mushroom block going all the way underneath into here, on that left hand side, right inside that gap there as well, all in here, up to the top as well. The necklines, and all inside those little parts there, and then bone block inside there, and there, orange terracotta in the right hand side right here, all the way down there. And orange wool up there, white wool up there, on the left hand side up the top, and light grey wool all the way on the left hand side, going into here, black terracotta going all the way down here, grey concrete powder going all the way inside here, white wool inside there on the right hand side, orange wool on the left hand side up the top, and then orange terracotta all the way going down, and the light grey wool all the way to the right, and then the black terracotta underneath, and then finally but not least, the grey concrete powder going all up there. So once again, I'm going to fill all of this in right now. If you want to see the end result for yourself, then you can pause the video right now and fill it in all for yourself and see what the final result was like for yourself. Or, if you want a reference to make sure that you don't go wrong, then you can pause the video right now. And there we go. As you can see, black terracotta has been filled in underneath and grey concrete powder has been filled on top. So once again, if you haven't done this area right now, pause the video and fill in this area if you already have. Then I'll move on to the next area. So as you can see in the shading right here, we have filled the orange wool up top on that left hand side right there, white wool on the right, orange terracotta on the left, and then the light grey on the right. That's for the first little strip hitting the black concrete right here. And then the next strip, as you can see, the grey concrete powder is on top, the black terracotta is underneath. And then as you can see after that, the next strip is the white wool to the left of the black concrete line, light grey wool to the left, and then you've got the orange terracotta to the right, and then you've got the orange wool on top, as you can see. So once again, if you haven't done the area, pause the video and do that area right now. And also underneath, as you can see, orange terracotta on the right hand side there, in that little area, and then black terracotta on the left, which we already filled in. And then moving on to the shading for the neck, as you can see, we have filled bone block in those two little gaps right there, and brown mushroom on all the entire outside. And you can already see it's giving you that nice shade already, and we haven't even done the face yet. And also, I zoom out a bit more, you can see the clay sticking up there. Again, for those that maybe want to keep the clay, or for those that don't want to keep the clay, what I would do I would fill in the clay and light concrete powder first for the sweat, and then if you want to see the other version of it not filled in, on the back behind the build, place like a random placement block. For example, place your bookshelf or gold block where the light grey concrete powder is, just on the outside, and for the clay as well, just to see basically just so you got the area marked, and then what you do is go back onto the side where you usually look at it, and then you basically, what you do is break that light grey concrete powder and then replace it with, for example, it's probably going to be brown mushroom block or bone block, and replace it for that, and see what it looks. And if you think it looks better like that, then you can destroy the placement block on the back. Or if you think it looks better with the sweat, then basically you know where it's meant to go because you marked it on the back. So if you just go to the back and then basically break that back block and then break the block where originally it was, because the back block was there, and then you know basically where it was meant to be. Again, that's just for those that want to keep it or for those that don't want to keep it. Just a nice little tip to make things easier, so you don't have to go and watch the video again to find out where that area was. And then moving on to the next sector, as you can see, orange terracotta on the left hand side going down here, and the orange one on top, and it's also going in that gap where we're running there. And as you see, black terracotta underneath on the right hand side in this sector here, and orange terracotta on the left hand side sector right there. So again, if you haven't done that yet, pause the video. And as you can see, cyan terracotta is on the right hand side to that black concrete, and light grey concrete powder on top. And then you can see black terracotta going all the way down with the grey wool up top, which we already filled in, and then the light grey concrete powder on the left hand side to that black terracotta line, or the black concrete line to the black terracotta, and the cyan terracotta to the left of it, with the orange terracotta going to the right, which is no orange wool because there's no more shading area for that, as you can see. And then it's black terracotta all the way underneath here, as you can see that we've done, and grey wool on top. So again, if you haven't done this area yet, pause the video and do this area. If you've already done this area, then I'm going to zip out and give you the final result, as you can see everything. And as you can already see, the build is looking really nice already, and it's got a lot of colours in this build. Probably one of the colours that builds to be specific, that's had the most colours out of all the builds I've done. I generally think this has got more blocks than Naruto vs Sasuke, as I said before, and that's two different characters in one build. And this is just one. And there we go, there's the full zoom out. So there is the first section done. So this will probably be done at least in 2 more parts or 1 more part. I'm not so sure how long. The hair's quite a long area to do because there is a lot of outlining for the hair. As you can see in the detail, there's a lot of hair right there. We got 3 colours for the hair, so there's a lot of shading to do. So it's probably going to be face next, and then there's going to be the hair after that. And then we'll be finished with Shoyo Hinata, and then after Shoyo Hinata, as I said before in the Sasuke, I'll be next moving on to Jiraiya to finish off the Jiraiya, and then Kurumura, and then I'll be moving on to the new builds and finally releasing them a lot more smoother and releasing 1 pixel at a time, because, as you know, we changed the method with 5 other builds. But again, without further ado, that's the end of today's video. I'll see you in the next one, and peace out, enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.